Last video cut off because a call came in. Yeah, so plastic liner in the bread bag, I guess, helps to keep it fresh. Okay, so into the pantry. It's subway tiled, and then inexpensive wood. I actually took everything out that, like all my ingredients that I would ever use in a pantry or put in a pantry, and put them on the floor in some almost square position. I know it sounds really weird, but it was in order to measure how much space I actually needed. I have so much stuff in terms of ingredients and dried goods and things I want to store in a pantry, so I needed to know how much space I needed, how much shelving, how deep they needed to be, and that was the way I could kind of measure what I actually need. Now it looks empty because I'm cleaning it out. This will actually be full. I'm going to top up, store pans and stuff. But I wanted enough space on the bottom to hold big water bottles for drinking water. So that height had to be measured. I wanted certain areas of it to be nice and deep so that I could stick trays in here and so on and so forth. So, that's just really kind of what I was going for. And then I do things in here like drying herbs. So these are, let's say rosemary and lemon balm from the garden. It's dry in here, so this is the perfect spot. It's dry and dark, so those can go in. I have these reusable muslin bags for things like herbs, or if I want to cook with herbs, or tea, that loose tea that I don't want to get everywhere. And then I just clean them and then stick them in here to dry. So it's great because I don't have a sort of window outside the kitchen to dry things in the sun. So I use this space. I collect bottles, glass bottles, probably more than I should, but you never know when you use them. And I actually do clean off the labels and use them for salad dressings, for homemade things, for drinks that I make, things like that. I try to keep things pretty organized in terms of like all the coffee and tea in one section. I love these green labels. These are frog tape labels, and restaurants use them because they don't ruin anything and they come off really easily. So I don't have to always have black tea in there, but when I want to change it, it's going to be really easy to change that label. So I love those, and I love clear glass because then I can see. I'm just such a visual person, and if there's something in a non-clear container, I forget about it. I can't remember everything I've got. Anyway, so yeah, and also Chinese takeout boxes. Those are so inexpensive and a great way to, give leftovers to people. Like, let's say people over for dinner and you don't want to give away your, precious food containers. Those are really inexpensive. You can get them at restaurant stores, and then they're cute to give people leftovers in, or gifts or whatever. Cookies you want to give to your neighbors. Really, really, really inexpensive and cute way to share your stuff. So over here, just, some teas and so on and so forth. Maybe I should go this way. Again, more of the labeling and such. And here's, one of the vendors in our online market, Marmara. I like their stuff. I try everything that goes into our market. So I have a lot of my vendors' products in here because this is sort of my little lab of sorts. I also sometimes put my seeds in here. Let's see. These are seeds from some squash from my local farmer's market. The squash was really excellent, very unique. So I took the seeds out, dried them, and I thought, maybe next time I plant some plants in the garden, I will try growing those. So ideally these should not be in here because it's too warm. The seeds should be in a cool place. So these will go into the basement, but they were here for now, but they have to go. Over here is sort of my section of agar-agar and gelatin products, things that I use for halal cooking because great substitutes for pork. So I've got the halal gelatin of sorts. So I've got all different kinds, you know. These come from like Filipino markets, and these came from a conference I went to. I don't know, maybe they were from someone in India. Then I've got the ones you can find at Whole Foods. These are fish flakes, sea vegetable flakes they call them. I don't know why they don't just say fish flakes. This gelatin I found in a Middle Eastern market. Haven't used it yet, but that'll be good for Jello. Pectin for when I make jellies and so on. And this is a cool product I found in Turkey, and it's to make cheese. So I can't wait to try that. Koç peynir mayası. Peynir means cheese. I don't know what anything else means, but I'm really excited. I found this in the mountains of the Black Sea, and it really does look like that with the cows there. But that's for another video. Anyway, okay, so more stuff here. Seawater. It's a product we carry in our online store, and I just you know, experimented with it with cooking. All my syrups, my honeys, molasses, really cool things I find. I'm like a ingredient junkie. Pine elixir. That's some really interesting stuff. It's like straight from pine trees. Love it. Truffle oil, then all my different vinegars. I love trying different vinegars like fig or date or pineapple, things like that. And then sometimes, you know, people send me products too, so I've got other things that I might or might not try. Sangria is non-alcoholic, so just so you know. And then more of my rices and beans, my dried goods up there. I try to use those as much as possible because they're very economical, and I love that. Down here is more of my